What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be doing this monochromatic makeup look. As you can also tell by the title, we are getting pink eyes, pink cheeks, pink lips. This was definitely a trust the process because I kind of went overboard with the blush. I did not know that the blush was this pigmented, but I will definitely have everything. I'll mention all the products and shade names, but let's go ahead and jump into this makeup look today. Before we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. Without further ado, let's go and get into this monochromatic makeup look. All right, you guys, so I'm very sad today. Today is my last day on my little mini vacation. I have to go back to work tomorrow, but I figured why not go ahead and film. This was the two options between the eyeshadow palettes. I end up just using the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette instead of the Morphe because I feel like all of the colors I needed were in the Glamlight palette. Honestly, I would say Glamlight needs to bring this palette back. I did see someone over on TikTok saying how they feel like it's like once Glamlight started doing all of the licensing with like Twinkies or Scooby-Doo and all of that stuff, it kind of lost the feeling of the brand, and I honestly agree with that. But I feel like this Ice Cream Dream palette spoke to who they really were, the type of brand that they were. But anywho, the shades that I used, I first started off with the shade Raspberry in this palette, if you have it. Then I went in with Black Cherry. To also deepen up that outer corner, I went in with the shade Chocolate. And then the last and final shade of this palette I went in is Mochi in that inner lid area, that light pink. That is honestly my favorite shade from today's look. But again, I could not get this lip combo off of my mind. So I felt like what better way to kind of play with it than to do like that monochromatic makeup look. You got yourself a pinky lip with a plum lip liner, pink blush, all of the vibes. So that is pretty much what I wanted to go with. Another thing that I'm noticing, I need to purchase some better eyeshadow priming bases. I feel like the other day when I did my makeup look, I used the new Morphe base. It's like that new Morphe, what is it, like cream shadow, but you can use it as an eyeshadow base. For whatever reason, I felt like it was just drying. It obviously is self-set, so I felt like I had a hard time blending. But what I also really think the issue is, I was applying the base on both eyes and then just working on one eye at a time. So it had time to set, and then it became an issue for me blending my eyeshadow on one of my eyes. And I feel like that's what happened today. I used the P. Louise blank canvas, and typically that one is used to kind of like cut the crease. So, but lesson learned. I do feel like the eyeshadow is not the greatest as far as blending. I kept having to go back in and try to fix it, but we're just going to roll with it. I still don't think it is the worst. So for primer today, as you guys know, I always typically like to use more than one primer. I went in with the Beauty Crop Wee Cherry Gripping Primer. This is a hydrating grippy primer. Grippy primers or hydrating primers I typically tend to use on the perimeter of my face because I do not get oily in that area. Now in the T-zone, I love to go in with something blurring or something mattifying. So I chose to go in with Huda Beauty's Easy Blur Primer on that T-zone area, just to blur out those pores. It also kind of helps a little bit kind of keep my oils at bay. I don't get too oily with this primer, so no issues there for me. And then for the foundation today, I am mixing two foundations. So the first one is the One Size Turn Up the Base Full Beat Liquid Foundation. I have the shade Medium Dark 10, which is neutral golden. And then I mixed it in with my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation in the shade N5. N5 is a little bit lighter, and it's more neutral. So I tried to mix the two to balance out the One Size foundation. The L'Oreal True Match Foundation, that is my perfect shade, is N6. but I did not obviously want to mix that one because it is my perfect shade. I kind of wanted to use something to lighten up the One Size foundation a little bit. I do feel like I need to go a shade up in the One Size foundation, but I haven't really decided if I wanted to pull the trigger and purchase that one yet. Again, I'm using a sponge here, you guys. Like I mentioned in my last video, I've been loving using a sponge lately when it comes to blending out my makeup. It to me has just been giving a seamless, and I think too because lately trying to put on makeup before I go to work, and I've been rushing, and when I was using my brushes, I get to work and I'm not thinking anything of it. Like, I felt like, oh, okay, I did good on my makeup like I always do. I got to work, y'all, and I had a whole splotch of foundation on like the lower half of my face on one side. Like, it just did not look blended. It did not look good. And I was so embarrassed the whole day at work because I was like, did you really come to work like this? So ever since then, I'm like, girl, use a sponge, because I feel like a damp sponge really blends everything out. And I don't have to worry about, did I blend enough? You know, so not that I'm done with my brushes, but I feel like when I have time, I'll use the brush. But I also feel like even applying foundation with the brush, then going over it with the sponge will definitely help as well. So as you can see, for cream bronzer, I went in with the shade Chestnut from Too Faced. This is their Born This Way concealer. Again, I used the shade Chestnut to do bronzer, the liquid bronzer, and I took that on the back of my hand and just kind of applied that with a brush instead of going directly on the face. For blush, I call myself doing an ombre blush effect, but it's okay. I still feel like the lighter blush helped kind of tone down that intense guava shade. These are both from Huda Beauty. So of course the darker pink is Intense Guava, the lighter one is Bubblegum. But I just feel like those two blushes definitely ties into the eyeshadow look that we have going on. You guys, I am trying to stay positive. Like, girl, you gotta go to work tomorrow, but you only have to work Thursday and Friday. I don't know. This work life is just, it's taking a toll on me. It's just not, it's not for me. But for concealer, we're using Warm Beige. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I also have the shade Tan, and I have the shades Sand and Warm Sand. But I feel like those look a little bit more closer to my skin tone. Warm Beige is the only lighter concealer from Too Faced that I have. So I definitely want to pick up more. What I was trying to say is I want to pick up more lighter shades. I believe there was one or two shades that were a little bit lighter than Warm Beige concealer that I wanted to grab to have like that brightening effect. But again, I'm blending this out with the sponge. It's just very seamless. Like, I feel bad because I have so many foundation and concealer brushes, but right now I'm just really on the kick with this sponge. So, but you guys, I just have I don't know, I'm a little sad. Like, my kids start school in 2 weeks, and it's like the closer that we get to that point, it's like I am going to have an 8th grader, a 5th grader, and a kindergartner. And I am not well. I am not well. It's like all of my babies are going to be gone out of the house. And it's like, you know, my husband, you know, men, they're different from us. But my husband is like, oh, now we could take a day off work and the kids go to school. We could go out to breakfast. We could go do some shopping. Like, you know, he's looking at it in that light. And I'm just like, but I won't have all of all of my babies will be gone. So it's a lot to process. Like, and it's crazy because it's like, girl, you've been down this road before. When my firstborn started school, my middle baby started school, but it's just like now all of them. But we've been working with my little guy on his handwriting and all of that stuff. And it has just been, you know, it's been a bittersweet moment. This is the L'Oreal Infallible blush in Confidence Pink. This is actually the blush I said blush blush that Shelby Ann used in her her viral like makeup look. So I honestly, this is what I meant by I have had products in hiding that I didn't know I had, because, you know, I had things like in the back of certain drawers. I didn't know that I had this blush, and I believe that this particular blush went out of, like, it's sold out because of her viral makeup look. But I found it and I'm like, wow, okay, let's use that. I honestly don't remember using this blush. It was very pigmented, so I felt like looking at myself, I was like, ooh, it's a lot happening, like the blush, everything. So I did kind of go off camera and try to clean it up with a more translucent setting powder, just to kind of blend everything and make it cohesive. For the powder bronzer, I use the MAC Matte Skin Finish. This is their Sunstruck Matte Bronzer in the shade Deep Golden. So that is what I used in today's video for the powder bronzer. Now for the lip liner, we're getting into the lip combo. I did go in with this Morphe lip pencil in Passionate Plum. This, to me, I don't know if Night Moth from MAC is a little bit deeper. I do still want to purchase that one, but this was my option because I don't have that on hand yet. For the center of the lips, because I want to go in with a pinky look and I want to tie everything together, this is a liquid blush from Made by Mitchell in the shade Sweet Cheek. And I feel like this is kind of giving the same vibe as like MAC Snob. But when I tell you this liquid blush is very smoothing on the lips, and I just took a brush and just kind of tapped that out, blended it out. Now, the I don't know, guys, this lip combo is just everything. If I can insert a picture of the inspo, I definitely will, and that is why I've been so drawn to this lip combo, like you know, wanting to do this lip combo. For the lip gloss, I use REM Beauty gloss in the shade Skinny Dripped. This is REM Beauty's Gloss Bomb. So this is pretty much what the lip combo consists of. Of course, it wouldn't be a day of makeup without my eye running, but this is it, you guys. All right, you guys, this concludes today's makeup look. So let me know what you think. This is definitely monochromatic. We got the pink eyes, pink blush, pinky lip. I am living for this lip combo, and this is kind of what I was mentioning the other day. My last video, I used the liquid blush for the lipstick to add a different color. This, I feel like, is the perfect pop of pink. And this, again, is a liquid blush from Made by Mitchell in the shade Sweet Cheeks. So popping that on with a plum color lip liner. This is from Morphe in Passionate Plum. But as I mentioned, I do have quite a few plum shades. One size in Cold Word if you already have that. And then this is the NYX Line Loud Lip Pencil in No Whining. So very inexpensive. I also feel like one size lip liners are not as expensive. I personally do still want to pick up the shade Night Moth from MAC. But yes, you guys, this is the completed look. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.